Hello everybody, my name is Christian Charlo. Welcome to this market report. Today we're Thursday, May 15, 2014. Today folks, we actually had a market correction today because what happened is that we saw that investors were leaving the stock market, heading towards the bond market though. And what this has created, it has created actually a decrease in bond yields. So with that, actually this correction has pursued itself on the market. Energy sector has been impacted, the financial sector has been impacted, and we do have today opportunities to short. Those of you who are not feeling comfortable to short, there is still some bearish ETF I'm going to show you on today's Chronicle. So let's take a look here at the sectors though, and you see on all the sectors that were going down, the energy and the financials have been the main responsible. Now, what are the best stocks to short on today's market? First of all, there's Sodomy Holdings, that is clearly one of the best breakdown we find so far on the markets. I think Sodomy Holdings is definitely going to be a stock that we might consider to short our analyst choice on marketgurus.tv that you can have access for free for 10 days just by clicking at the link below. And as a stop loss, we'll have a stop loss at 41.44 on Sodomy's holding. Westport Innovation as well is one of the best breakdown. You have a target until 1407 and you should put your buyback order around 18 bucks. Westport Innovation also on NASDAQ, target 1260 and your exit point should be around 17 bucks on that stock. Now, for the energy sector, one of the weakest sector in the US and also on the Canadian side though, it's clearly starting a bearish cycle. But if we put a Fibonacci retracement here, we see that around this point here, around 781, this is where we actually might have a pause, but we might not have a pause, and we might actually reach that former resistance around, which is a 38.2% Fibonacci retracement, so around 765. So here are the two strategies on the energy sector. You could either do it with some bearish ETFs, so there's ERY on New York that you can actually trade for that, and if ever the decrease continues around 765, you'll have to cash in on that bearish ETF, or you can short with some stock like Energy XXY. What I like with that stock is, first of all, if we put more data here, you see that the stock broke clearly an important support. It did a first movement here, stabilized, and now it's breaking it down again. So this confirms that there's some strength in the seller's momentum, and if you're shorting that stock today, 2181, this is where you should put your buyback order. The financial sector is also one of the weakest sector, so you can either trade that decrease if it continues until the sector reaches 387. So with some bearish ETF like FAS is a great bearish ETF to track that correction. So whenever the financial sector reaches 387, you have to take some profit, or you can short some stocks. There's WisdomTree Investment, clear downward trend, clearly breaking down, except that it's losing 8.43%. So the buyback order is a little bit far away. It's at 1085. So what I would do, maybe I put a trailing stop loss of 7% and get out totally at 11 bucks on that stock. There's Bank of America also, which is clearly breaking down, but Bank of America has a target until 1373 for Bank of America. In the gold sector, it's not a sector that's starting yet a bearish cycle, but GDX, which is the ETF that tracks the gold miners, it's testing dangerously its support. There are some stocks that are actually already going on the downside, such as Barrick Gold. Actually, Barrick Gold might be considered as a short among our analyst choice on marketgurus.tv. In Barrick Gold, though, if you're shorting that stock, there are two potential. First potential, 1750. This is where we might have a first stop. And the other potential that is around 1639 on Barrick Gold. It's clearly keeping a downward trend, clearly keeping a downward momentum. So the stock has some potential on the downside. And if ever the gold sector starts a clear bearish cycle, Eldorado Gold will be a stock that you could short, well, only and only if Eldorado Gold goes below 619. So here are the multiple opportunities to short. Sotheby's, Westport Innovation. On the energy sector, which is one of the weakest sector today, you can either go in with some bearish ETFs such as ERY or short EXSY on EXSE on NASDAQ. On the financial sector, you can go in with some bearish ETFs such as FAS or short those two stocks. And in the gold sector, though, I think Barrick Gold is one of the best breakdown. What we're considering for our analyst choice portfolio is either Barrick Gold or either Sotheby's holding, because those two actually we find offer a lot of great opportunities to short today with this market correction. So that's it, folks. See you next week for your market report. You can always have access to all this technical analysis and many more on marketgurus.tv that you can have access for free for 10 days just by clicking at the link below. You can also reach us on Facebook, on Twitter, chat with us, and share your strategies. And never forget, the more money you make, the happier we are. See you next week.